The universe is so big, it's almost beyond our understanding. Not just billions of stars and planets, but billions of galaxies. So far away, we've only begun to spot them in the distance. Then there's this place. An amazing place filled with amazing creatures, including the most amazing creatures of all. Sometimes frustrating, confusing, maddening. There's no end to the words we can use to describe ourselves. We can be remarkably destructive and creative, sometimes at the same time. And we look ahead. Even though we never know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, we can't wait to find out. Here on Earth, the People Planet. I'm Kim Christensen at the Norlin Library at the University of Colorado Boulder, where I spent more than a few hours studying. 9 News has partnered with 9 experts at CU to help us understand ourselves in a project we're calling the People Planet. This is the first edition of Charles Darwin's famous On the Origin of Species from 1859, which is one effort to answer our first question. How did we get here anyway?
Through the, what's this machine? The Phoropter. Let's see what happens.
These guys have been around a little while as they learn everything from the alphabet to the meaning of life.
Guess what?
They are among the latest examples of the most fascinating things we know about.
A wolf won't bite. Excellent.
They're the examples of us.
Thumbs up, Mr. Bob.
The Earth is about 4 billion years old. In those terms, we just got here. A few million years, but in geologic terms, that's only a few seconds. Most of us don't even understand.
It's amazing how much we actually know about human evolution now compared to what it did 10, 20, much less 50, 100 years ago. Despite all this knowledge, it's remarkable how mysterious much of it remains.
Most experts believe human beings first appeared in Africa. For millions of years, we lived and died in a frightening world surrounded by beasts and whatever could easily kill us without much of a fight.
These challenges, these things that almost kill us, in a sense, those are the things that make us what we are. And I think it's very possible throughout most of our existence, we were hanging on by a thread, metaphorically.
But we did hang on by that thread and thrived. We have no idea how many people there were a million years ago, but in 10,000 BC, maybe a million or 2. 10,000 years later, by the year 1, we were up to 200 million and gradually grew until the modern age. Then a billion people in 1804, 2 billion in 1927, 3 billion in 1963, almost 5 billion in 1983. In 2015, 7 billion and counting. The question is, how did that happen?
Between 150,000 years ago, humans spread out from the area where they evolved to all of the Earth, to a range of incredibly diverse climates where some areas are warmer, some are colder. The only way people could do that is by inventing technologies that help them to cope with these different environments.
Technology. Think about the role it plays in your life. Cars, electricity, refrigerators, microwave ovens, computers, cell phones. We're so used to technology, we can't even imagine life without it.
Want to bounce?
These guys certainly can't imagine what life was like before they had all this to work and play with. But in the beginning, technology was less about fun and more about something more basic, like survival. Think of human history as a long road. The first stop on the technology highway, millions of years ago. Tools made of stone, wood, antlers and bones that helped us use animals for food and protect us from the world. For a lot of that trip, that's all we had. Then, just yesterday, we gradually started making all the things we take for granted today. Estimates to when vary, but the control of fire by humans was an important early discovery. Then, 50,000 years ago, clothes, 12,000, boats, 10,000, agriculture, 8,000 bricks, 5,000 the wheel, 3,000 iron tools.
I mean, if you really think about it, most of the things that we think of as, what defines us, computers, space travel, cars, and these are things within the last few hundred years. It's not even 1,000.
Now we're speeding up. 300 years ago, the Industrial Revolution began that started by producing machines, steam engines, typewriters, submarines, the internal combustion engine, cars, planes, spaceships, computers. What will they think of next?
Zenith's famous 9-band transoceanic, the world's most exciting radio.
We have survived remarkable things. We've created amazing technologies. But I think that that's taking what is a three-dimensional object and looking at it in 2 dimensions. We are so much more than that.
Meaning the other products of our imagination, like art, music, architecture, games, all the things we don't need but want to make life interesting. As for technology, though, it isn't always for the better.
I would not say that technology itself is intrinsically bad, because it is an artifact of our creation, and it is a manifestation of whatever the user's intentions really are. So if ISIS uses technology, they are probably thinking it is for a good goal, where we're going, this is terrible that they have so much technology.
Because all the technology in the world can't change the fact that people will always be people.
There's greed, there's favoritism, there's envy, there's fear. All the things that make us, human are the things that make us messy. And technology isn't messy. Technologies are ones and zeros. And at the end of the day, kind of abhors messiness.
And remember all those billions of people we talked about earlier? Well, it turns out that one of the key reasons for the rise of technology, more people, more ideas, more solutions to complicated problems.
A society at the scale of a hunting and gathering group could not maintain enough knowledge of the world to make a cell phone. If the world population were suddenly cut in half, we would lose a lot of our technology. Within a couple decades, we would no longer be able to have cell phone networks the way we have them today.
What could cut the world's population in half? War, disease, climate change, asteroids. Mankind has always had a tenuous relationship with our little spot in the universe.
There are limits to what the planet can provide.
When we return, man versus the world.